everyone. Welcome to this live session on Bollywood Live. Thank you
Thank you.
for connecting with us. It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's completely a pleasure. First of all, we would like to know that what you have been doing cooped up in the house. You have any suggestions for your fans out there? What they can do to pass their time? What have you been doing?
Well, sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to adjust this.
Yeah, make yourself
Sorry.
completely comfortable, Mandana. Then we can continue.
Yeah. I'm so still trying to figure out how to keep the camera and keep everything in a place.
Happens to the best of us.
It's one of the new thing that I'm trying to figure out, because also at my house I don't have any equipment, so just trying to figure this out.
So you're trying to fix the camera, right, in a good position?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold it with my hand.
Yeah, that's fine. If I may say so, that whichever position you hold the camera in, it will always look good on you. So you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna actually move to the other side of my house because that was a little bit too noisy. I couldn't hear anything that you said. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Where were we?
Now I'm audible now?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, this is much better.
Is that a poster of Woody Allen at the back?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, wow. So you're a Woody Allen fan?
Yes. I used to like him once upon a time, but I still do like him. But this poster is one of my favorites because I think I bought it many years ago when I was traveling. So I still have it.
And okay, so what else is happening in the lockdown? Yeah, finally, got.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Well, I think it's something that all of us we're trying to figure out. It's a situation which none of us are used to it. You know, none of us used to staying at home so much. I haven't been, staying at home for a really long time. I'm a kind of a person. I'm out the whole day, and if I'm not shooting or if I'm not busy with work, my kind of a work that I do, it's like I'm either on a reading or practice or rehearsal or meetings or workouts. So I'm used to being outdoor, and I'm a girl who likes to be outdoor. So I think all of us, we're trying to really adjust to this new situation. और काफी अजीब है, काफी काफी दिन, sometimes some days are really good. You have a lot of energy and you sort out with your day, you have planned everything. Or kabhi like some days you just आपको नहीं करना है, you don't want to even get out of bed, and you're like where I'm gonna go, कहीं भी जाना नहीं है, बस घर पे ही है, तो I'm just gonna like sit in a sofa, eat, watch, and कुछ भी नहीं करना है. But in my situation, I stay alone, and I had to let go of my help who stays with me. So basically, at the moment, I'm doing everything on my own, from cooking, cleaning, bartan dhone, jaru pocha, taking care of my dogs, doing laundry, talking to friends, family, what else? Making sure that I'm working out as well. Actually, kya hai, by the end of the day, I've done so much, that bas mujhe actually bas sona hai, and I don't want to do anything because I get so tired the whole day. And so that's basically my days, which is going on.
So not a lot of relaxation. Basically,
not
the work
at all.
Yeah, so basically, Mandana Karimi is all of us. Work has increased. Even for us, work has increased during lockdown. All
right?
Of us.
It's because I feel also what has happened, I'm sure for you is the same thing. Like my team or my friends and family, they think that I'm free the whole day. Yeah. And like, I feel like I'm missing the luxury of not being available on my phone. You know what I mean?
Sure, I do.
I don't want to be available in my phone, but everyone knows that you're at home. Kahan jana hai, kahan jayenge? And I feel, we've become so available on phone that, even if you don't want it, the whole day you're busy in your phone. You're either talking to people, working, and I feel like I've been even more busy now. Like when people say, "Oh my God, I'm so bored," and I'm like, "Listen, I have no time to think about being bored or
True, true.
what I'm gonna do next because, like, I've made a schedule for myself, and one thing that I've done, I stopped counting days.
Okay.
I've done that 3 weeks ago. I stopped counting as, oh, today is a 30 day, 20 day, ye wo, because what happens, you kind of constantly thinking about कब ये खत्म हो जाएंगे, कल क्या हो
हाँ.
जाएंगे. अभी अभी कुछ नया न्यूज़ है, 3 मई तक चालू हो जाएंगे, ये खत्म हो जाएंगे, और is it gonna be extended after a month, right?
You
So
don't know.
because of that, I stopped counting completely. So everything is casual. And when people say, "Oh, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do," and I'm like,
I
I
wish
wish
we were
I
so
had
good.
your life.
True, true. I can completely relate to that. I can completely
Yeah,
relate to that. Acha, Mandana, tell us something about your journey. Obviously, you were born in Iran and then you decided to come here and make your career as an actress over here, as a
yeah,
star over here. Iran, I've spoken to a few other actors from Iran like Sajjad Dalafrooz and over, and they said Bollywood is pretty big. Many people love Bollywood in Iran. And if I'm
that's
not
very true.
mistaken, you grew up with Sholay. Sholay is one of your favorite films.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not. Yes, it is. It's a fantastic movie. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a first introduction of me and Bollywood because I was really young and 7, 8 years old, and in Iran we're not really allowed to watch
Mm.
international films,
Mm.
and it's illegal. And my dad, he used to have these film parties where he was the only one in the family who had the cassettes and VFX and all that. And so the first movie that I've seen in Bollywood was Sholay, because also the memory, it's so stuck with me because they arrested my dad after that night, that party. And I remember me, my brother, and my cousin, we were trying to see what everyone is doing in living room because we weren't allowed to go outside and
Mm.
watch the movie with them. So I remember while I was peeping, I saw a woman dancing on glasses, and that
Hema Malini.
particular, yes, that particular scene stayed with me. And later on, I think I was probably 12 or 13 maybe. I watched a movie and I was like, oh, this was the movie, and I didn't even knew that which movie it is. Yeah, so yeah, Shola has been my first film, but when I watched it when I was 7 years old.
Coming from a conservative society, how did you manage to come over here, convince your family that you want to make it as an actress, and then make a tectonic shift and become so glamorous on screen? How was that achieved?
Well, I to answer that question of yours, I tell you something. I think 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, my mom, she's right now staying in our farmhouse, and a lot of friends and family, they have shifted to their farmhouse because of the corona situation. And I spoke to my mother's family uh, almost after like 13 years. Okay. And some of them, I didn't know who's who. So they had to tell me who's the person, right? And couple of them, I could remember them from their voice, or I could guess that, oh, you are that person. And getting back, why this has happened and why it happened, because when I decided to leave Iran, my mom, she panicked and was like, where are you going? What do you want to do? Like, I don't understand. What's the problem here? You can get married and have babies and all that stuff. And I feel, as a person who was born in such a conservative family, and when I was a
Your voice is not coming. Hear me? Guys, Mandana will be joining us back again in a short while. थोड़ा connection का issue है शायद. वापस आ गई है.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're loud and clear. You're loud and clear.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with internet.
Network issues
Yeah?
happen. Can't be
Okay.
avoided. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were telling, you were
Yeah,
last
so-
said.
About the conservative family. So
Yeah.
so for me, coming from a space like that, or even thinking about getting out of your family and your city and your country, it was a very, very strange move for a teenager, you know. But for whatever reason was, you know, I never could adapt to that culture. I never could be that ordinary girl who's gonna grow up, become a teenager, get married, and have children, and follow what everyone has followed for so many years of their life. You know, my grandmother, my mom, everyone. That's what they know. And for whatever reason was, it was definitely not my upbringing, because you know, I have grown up in a very strict and very conservative family. It wasn't my surrounding, because I wasn't introduced to films, I wasn't introduced to fashion, or I wasn't introduced to anything. And I think what happened is that the drive to getting out of that place, the drive that I had and I have for achieving more or to do more in my life, it kind of helped me to go out of that place. And the second thing was, you know, I didn't know if I want to become a model or actress or anything. You know, it happened to me, and it happened to be something that I was good at, you know. And it is difficult. You're gonna, you know, when you decide to do something which is not a normal, which is introduced to your family, wherever you come from. Let's say I was coming from a conservative family, and therefore for a woman to be alone and making money on her own and going to another country, become a model, that wasn't normal. No one has seen it. They never heard from it about it. And so my mom's family and my father's family, everybody stopped talking to us, and I didn't have any connection for so many years. And finally now, because you know, I've done well for myself, I'm in a place that I'm kind of, I belong here. I feel like I belong to Mumbai, and now finally they are getting back to me, and they're like, you know what, we are proud of you. So I feel whatever step that you take in life, you need to know what you want. You need to be very, you know, the constant working on your craft, the constantly working on your dreams, that makes you achieve what you want in life. And I feel um, hope, dreaming, and you know, wanting to achieve something, that's, I think, my biggest strength. And I think faith has been a biggest strength, and the way I have achieved everything in my life is because of that. And yeah, so I didn't have my family support in the beginning, but now, you know, it's back to normal, I can say.
Very, very strong of you. Very strong of you. Did you have to fight with your parents? Did you have to leave them by rebelling? Was that the case?
It wasn't like I don't want to see you again and I'm leaving. It wasn't like that. It actually gradually happened, because I have a step brother in Dubai, and I went to meet him, and that was my first trip ever without my family and outside of Iran. It made me wonder. I was I was feeling like I'm this child who has been introduced to another planet where you can do whatever you want. If you don't want to wear a hijab, it's fine. People, no one is judging. Girls are dressed up. There is makeup, and there is so much. Like, I remember that Dubai trip of mine, I couldn't talk to people because I was so busy looking around and, you know, wondering. And I'm not coming from a big family. I'm coming from a very small family, and we belong to a middle class family. And so for me, it was the first time I traveled, and you know, I never traveled with my family outside of Iran. So I think that was a moment I was like, you know, I think this is what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna
I
go
can.
back. I'm going to go
Yeah.
back and I'm going to figure out a way how I can travel. And later on, when I decided to travel to Malaysia, I told my mom, I said, listen, you need to sign my papers. Otherwise, I have find a way that I can just, leave Iran.
Mm.
So she obviously cried. That was the first thing. Very typical mothers crying first thing. And the next thing she was like, how I'm gonna do without you, and I'm alone, and I'm this and that. And but I mean, in that age I was so smart, I feel, and I was so sorted. I thought that this is my plan and I'm gonna do it. So I made my mother convinced that if I'm not gonna achieve, and if I can't make it anywhere, I don't know what job I'm gonna do, but I just want to get out of the country. And she asked me, do you have any idea what you want to do? I said, I don't know. I met these two girls who are living in Malaysia, and they told me, I'm tall and skinny, I could be a model, so I want to give it a chance. I want to try that. And she's like, modeling, being naked, being doing this, being doing that. And she even became more aggressive towards stopping me. And I said, Mom, my friends, they have booked me a ticket. They're helping me to go to Malaysia, and I'm going. My flight is in next few days. So again, she couldn't believe. She said, yeah, ha, ha, ha. And when I had a flight, and I remember my mom, she stopped me. She stopped my luggage, and she was like, no, you're not going to go anywhere. But obviously, I made it to that flight. And
It's like an
when we
indie movie
talked,
scene.
yeah, it was. And
Yes.
when I think about it, my life has been a one big Bollywood movie,
Yeah.
since the beginning.
Can be made into one.
It is. And when we talk about it now, my mom is so happy. She's like, I'm so happy that you were
That's
so
nice.
stubborn. You were so stubborn that even now when I think about it, how stubborn you were, that you didn't stop. Like, I was crying and I was trying to make you feel bad. All that happened. And I told her, I said, listen, one thing is for sure. At the end of the day, our parents, they want us to do good, right? And if
Yes.
you're really
Yes.
serious about your passion to be here, and if you're serious about it, if you're really gonna work hard and achieve it, and later on you're gonna come back to your parents and say, you know what, that moment, I'm sorry for what I did, but now I'm here, I have achieved. And
And they'll be
listen,
proud of you.
they're gonna be more than happy for you, because
Yeah.
that's how parents are.
True.
It's a very
Uh,
simple. Anji.
So, how, Mandana, you go from this background to doing shows like Big Boss, one of the most controversial reality show, and then doing a glamorous, bold role in Kya Cool. You can hear me? You can hear me?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I was also.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now you can hear me? Okay.
Sorry.
So I was asking you, how do you go from that conservative, from the reserve background, from a reserve mindset, to doing a controversial reality show like Big Boss and a super glamorous role in Kya Kule Hum Tree? Where does that courage come from? How did you change?
I think courage. Sorry. I think the courage that you're. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. It goes on. Can you see me now?
I can see you well. I can see you
Yeah.
clearly.
I think it's not about the courage. What happened is that when I became a model, sorry, I don't know what's happening.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Uh,
We are here. We are not going
it's
anywhere. Don't worry.
it's not about the courage. I feel I've understood my really well, and I am the demand of the job that I have chosen. And if I have to do, let's say, as you said, the glamorous, right? I think I have grown year by year. I've understood my job so much, and plus I have grown with my job. So if someone asks me that you have to be glamorous, and if they're looking at me actually in that perspective, that's such a big compliment, you know. And as you said, from coming from such a background, sometimes when I look back, Mandana, which I knew that time, right, with the Mandana that I know today, they are absolutely two different people.
Poles
What they
apart.
believe and what they do, it's two different people. But the core of me as Mandana, it's the same. That I have faith, I work hard, and I'm gonna achieve what I want in life, right? Because the Mandana that I used to know from the conservative, wearing burqa and everything, she's still the same. You know, I have the same values, but my way of living and the way of I'm accepting myself as a woman has changed a lot. Because throughout the year, I've learned that this is the profession that I love to do, and this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And if a character is glamorous, or if the character is wearing a bikini, or if the character requires certain scene, I will do it because that's my job. Yeah.
True, very well said.
Yeah.
But in a strange place where you were surrounded by nobody you know, and
Yeah.
after doing this work, which, like you rightly said, are the demands of your job, and you're doing it as a job, did you face any kind of objectification because of the job you did, or were you ever put in an uncomfortable situation, or did people see you and put you in an uncomfortable situation? Was there any scary episode ever you had to face in the industry?
Not on a set or not from people from the industry, but obviously, again, I'm getting back to the point that let's say you're right, it's wrong for some people, and my right is wrong for other people, right? And it's the same thing, you know, like when as an actor you let yourself being out there, right? And you kind of let people judge you 24/7 hours. She's fat, she's too skinny, she's too this, she's too that. Oh, she's not from here. Hindi aati nahi hai, dancing aati nahi hai, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. Anyway, you are in an industry that people are gonna judge you, right? And move like this, then you need to be ready also to be judged, because that's what happens to a lot of people, because a lot of people start panicking, a lot of people start judging when on a unknown situation, right? Maybe for me that situation is great, it's my work, I'm enjoying doing it, but some other people is like, oh my god, how can she take picture topless and put it on Instagram? Or oh my god, how she can be in a, I don't know, a kissing scene or wearing a bikini, oh my god, chi, that's so bad. So I think it's part of a job, and I always try to look at the positive side of it. You know, I look at to focus on the love that I get, okay, and the rest is just the noise around you, and you need to avoid it. Yeah.
Mandana, I have to ask now because there's been some time we haven't seen you on screen. I think so. Last we had seen you in
Uh,
2018, if I'm not
that's
mistaken.
actually true. Yeah.
I think
Yes.
last it was 2018 we saw you on screen, if I'm not mistaken.
Um,
So
yeah, I mean, like on a big screen,
yeah,
yes. My ish was, yes, it was on 2018 end. Yeah, 2019.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So there has been some time. Did you voluntarily need this time off because of the turmoil that was happening in your personal life? You needed a space for yourself before you return to work?
It wasn't, to be honest. Yes, I mean, like part of it was because, you know, I was going through a trauma in my life with my personal life. I didn't want to work after I got married, but then when I was back to work, a lot of people because of my whole experience with my ex, a lot of people they didn't want to work with me because my ex is quite a powerful person in industry. So that's it. And the second part of it was, as you said, a lot of she's back and you know she wants to work, and we haven't seen anything from you for, as you said, for almost like 2 years. So how are we gonna take her while we haven't seen her any of her work for really long time? So to be honest, I did have a really tough time to kind of get back because I had to prove a lot. And I think because of the break that I had to start and struggle from the zero again. And also it was great actually, because it taught me a lot in that process. And I started training as a professional actor. I put up myself into theater, so it gave me time to actually work on myself. And to be honest, I was getting work. It wasn't like I wasn't getting anything. um, it wasn't like I wasn't getting any work, but it was more like I didn't want to do it because I wasn't happy to doing the same thing, the glamorous, the hot, the sexy, all that stuff. And I wasn't happy with my own work. So I took it off to train myself. And I did an 8 months course, 8 months of training. And I did some theater. I worked on my Hindi, and while I was working on that, I did one film which hasn't released yet. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's one film which hasn't released, and the second one is I've done a web series. I've done my first web series with Z5 and Z Prime.
Nice.
Yeah, which was supposed to be releasing this month, but because of the the corona
Lockdown.
situation, yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't finish the shoot. But they're trying to release it soon. So yeah, I've been working on project, but nothing has released.
When you said a little short while ago that you were not, some people were not wanting to work with you because X was so
Yeah.
powerful. That was a very scary. That was a very scary thing. We did not expect to hear that, but did after. I'll have to be candid over here.
Yeah.
After the marriage broke off, after the marriage broke off, did he make life like difficult for you to continue working over here?
Uh, See, to be honest, I've moved on from that situation and I'm done with it. It's something which happened in past, and it has no impact in my life at today's that as we speak. But it's how can I say it? Sometimes in situation when let's say some friendship gets broke, right? People they do things from anger. They do things, they take action from their anger. They don't really mean it. It doesn't make them bad people, it doesn't make them mean people. It's just they're angry because the relationship has broken for whatever reason. Everyone has reason. There is always two sides of story. And but I feel it wasn't easy for me because I'm not from here. I don't have my family from here, and what I realized that I didn't have any of my friends. It was whoever I had around me was his friends, and that's fine. Today I'm sitting here strongly. I'm talking to you. I don't. What I say, whatever action whoever took, it was from anger. It has nothing to judge them and to say, oh, he's a bad person or his family is bad people. No, it's not. I think everyone is trying to save their family and their beloved ones. And I think people do take actions when they are angry, and sometimes you don't think when you're angry. And it's something which is his past, and I never could be so grateful to my ex. Like the way things has worked out for me after my separation. It has been amazing because it has better person, and I'm gonna be grateful to him forever. Yeah.
I love the positive attitude. It's the kind of it's a beacon for anyone who has been through it. I love the positive attitude.
Yeah.
Keep staying positive like this. Anyways, before we
Yeah.
wind this up, Mandana,
Yeah.
your fans would love to know what are your. You said there's a web series, there's possibly a movie that you shot for. So
Yeah.
what they can look forward to in future from you?
You're gonna look forward for new Mandana that I think a lot of people are gonna be very surprised because on the both project that I've done on that film, I'm playing a lead character of a girl who's been through sexual abuse, and I'm playing this beautiful role of a mother, actually a young mother who she dies when she's really young. So I'm playing that character, which is very interesting. And the second one, it's a web series. It's my first ever web series, and I'm a lead actress in it as well. And I'm playing a character called Rihanna, a very, very successful woman who knows exactly how to get what she wants, and very, very strong, very powerful. and also the whole show I'm speaking in Hindi. So there's a lot of Hindi dancing. It's very different, and I felt the difference after my training and after being in this project. Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. We'll be looking forward to that. Keep rocking,
Thank,
Mandana. It was
thank you so much.
wonderful talking to you, and keep being the strong person you are. And most
Thank,
importantly, keep staying safe so that we see a lot more from you.
thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me, and all the people who are watching and who they came live. Please stay safe, stay responsible. Don't go out of your house, and be safe and be healthy. Thank you so much.
Wonderful words. Please listen to that. Stay safe,
Thank you.
Mandana. Till next time. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much. Bye, guys. Bye.